I've had the van for several months now. I got it in late last year in the fall, and my original plan was, of course, to do everything as fast as possible and then just go within like the span of a month. But you know, that wasn't very logical for a variety of reasons. There was a lot of things that needed to be taken care of before I left. There was work on the van that needed to be done, and just the weather itself, not just the danger of driving through Quebec and Ontario in the middle of the winter, really not safe in general, but to drive this massive van that I can't see out the back of and I'm not terribly comfortable with yet, it was just really not favorable. I was not excited to do that. That plus the fact that my cats don't like the snow whatsoever, which meant that if there's snow on the ground, they can't leave the van, like they just won't. So they would be stuck in this little cube all day, every day, and that's not good for them. So I planned on just taking the winter to get whatever I needed to get done, let the winter pass, and then leave in the spring. And lo and behold, the repairs on the van took just about that long. I brought it in about a month after getting it because I had stuff to do and I just never got around to it. And then it had a lot of work to do, and the place that I brought it to, they're small, and so it takes them longer to do this stuff. And it was kind of free parking to leave it there for the winter, so I just didn't make a deal out of it. However, if my van is to break down in the future, I can't afford to obviously leave it at a garage indefinitely because that is the place where I will be living. So it's good that I'm just getting the majority of the work done as soon as possible, and then the next time I have to bring it to the shop, obviously I'm gonna be very specific. Wherever I end up taking it, I'm gonna be very specific that it needs to be done in a reasonable amount of time. They did say that it should be done by the end of this week. It is now March, middle of March. It is mid-March. And so the van will hopefully be done by the end of the week. Either way, I can't park it on the street legally until April 1st. So it doesn't really matter if it takes another 2 weeks or whatever. So the plan, beyond waiting for the van to be repaired, is I have a list of things that need to be taken care of before I can leave. One of those things is repairs in the house. So one of the projects that I want to get done before I leave here is reno in this room. So I want to replace these moldings, and I'm going to paint the walls, and I'm gonna fix the floor back there a little bit. I'm going to plaster this obviously before I paint the walls. And the reason I'm doing this is because these are things that either myself or my cats have damaged over the course of being in this house. They're actually things that got damaged many years ago when I was extremely depressed, that I could barely function, and things got broken. And that's another story. But anyways, when I leave here, I want to leave here conscience free, never looking back. So I just want to get this done so I never have to think about it again. The next thing is I need to get rid of my stuff. Obviously, I can't bring my dresser with me, this bed with me, these side tables with me. I can't take my furniture with me. I have a couch. I have all kinds of stuff that I need to sell or give away or whatever before I can go. I am still waiting for the weather to be appropriate for me to leave, but I think we're pretty much about at that point. This week we have a couple days that are going down to -20, but it looks good for next week, so hopefully we won't have too many of those really, really cold days coming up, and I'll be good to at least get west enough that I won't experience those -20, -30 nights. I also don't want to be caught driving on the highway in a Sprinter van in a blizzard, so there's that too. Another thing that I want to do before I leave, because I don't it's just going to be easier to do it in the house than in the van, is to cut my hair pretty short. So yeah, everyone freaks out. This is how long it is. Everyone freaks out when I say I'm going to cut my hair because you know, there's so much of it. It's pretty traumatizing. And basically the last thing that I need to get done before I leave is what I had originally planned on doing anyways, was a van build of some sort. So obviously I have to install the fan, and I was going to paint the van. I was going to at the very least install a bed, and I was gonna put like a kitchen area in it, like a galley. However, with the new information that I have now of my current living situation, I don't think I can do that, because basically once I show up with the van, I don't know what kind of stupidities are going to happen, whatever shenanigans are going to happen from that point on, making my life a living hell. So the real plan is to get out of here as soon as possible. So the new realistic plan is to try to avoid triggering my mother. And in order to do so, what I need to do is kind of like get rid of all my stuff, all my furniture, and get the van and install the fan on like the same day and then leave. So I don't know how realistic that's gonna be in practice. In other words, who knows what's gonna happen. I wanted to film this while I was doing it, and I forgot, because after I found the only saw that I could find, it was just all downhill from there. It basically got the job done, but the perfectionist in me would have liked to do a better job. We'll see what it looks like when it's painted. Okay, so this is pre-paint. The plaster is dry and it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Not bad. That's painted and all, and it does not look bad. So the paint is pretty much done. It's almost done. Here's the thing. Normally what I would do is I would go get another can of paint, because I'm pretty much out at this point. And then I would fix all the things that aren't done, like the ceiling and the rim around the ceiling, which, see, I think you can see it, that I didn't quite reach the ceiling. There's a couple inches that are left undone. I decided that I'm not gonna buy more paint, and that I'm not going to buy anything else or do any other repairs other than a couple of things that I'm basically already started, that I already bought the supplies for. Because 2 days ago, after the first day of painting, I had a conversation with my mother that validated that she absolutely is a narcissist without a doubt. It proved to me that she doesn't know me, nor does she care about me, nor will she ever. And it proved to me that she has been manipulating me my whole life and lying to me my whole life. So the reason that I've been doing these repairs is because I have felt guilt and shame around them. These are things that were damaged like 10 years ago, and they never got repaired. And I felt responsible for them, and I felt like I had permanently damaged her house and her life and whatever else. But when I started to fix them and I realized how easy it was to fix and how minute the damage was, like how it just wasn't a big deal, but I had been led to believe that it was such a big deal. And I've been living with this pain, this shame, this guilt for stupid little things. Because when I tried to fix them back then, she would tell me like it was impossible. Oh no, that tiny little scratch, basically that means that we have to start all over. We might as well just burn the house down because it's impossible to fix. Oh, it's gonna cost like millions of dollars. Like one little thing that probably would have costed maybe $100 to fix, if not less. She's like, oh, that's gonna be like months. It's gonna take months. It's gonna take thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's just all over exaggerated to make me feel like crap about the littlest things, so that I feel like I owe her, so that she can continue to manipulate me. So now, instead of putting my energy and my time and my resources into getting out, into, my own life, I'm putting it into her life. I'm putting it into her stuff, into her house, into things that she should have repaired over the past decade, but hasn't. So I feel like it's my responsibility to fix her life for her. And that's the game. That's how twisted it is. So yeah, I've decided I'm done, because I'm no longer going to be emotionally attached to her responsibilities, and I'm no longer going to put my energy into trying to fix her life and help her instead of helping me, because in reality, no one's helping me. No one's trying to fix my life. I gotta do it myself.